Everyone, we are now doing the essay on an educational reform by Hilaire Belloc. Hilaire Belloc was a prolific and versatile writer. Humor has added charm to this essay. Belloc has pointed out the corruption that has entered our social life in an easy and familiar style. Those who take recourse to fraud are often more successful than those who are honest and hardworking. Belloc says ironically that fraud should be included in the curriculum of the schools as the master subject so that the generation now sprouting does not fail in the battling with the world. Hilaire Belloc in this essay realizes the need of fraud as an educational reform to be incorporated in the school curriculum of wealthy children. Belloc points out that corruption has entered our social life. Those who take recourse of fraud are often more successful than those who are honest and hardworking. Belloc says in an ironical tone that fraud should be essentially included in the school curriculum as the master subject. The coming generations would artfully deal and not fail in battling with the world. The author experiences that success can come only by fraud. Vast fortunes and wealth can only be acquired by fraud. A man who is wealthy is seen as great. Fraud is the most essential subject. The ignorance and incompatibility of which makes a man labor very hard, and finally he is pushed to obscurity, that is forgetfulness. No one recognizes his endeavor and he is soon forgotten. It is a pity that such a subject is not taught in the school. Unfortunately, many men of brilliant career fail on leaving the academics. They are outwitted by those who are uneducated, still know the art of cheating. Pomposity, that is, show off and boasting, and the spirit of falsehood should also be taught. He recommends that swindling, that is, cheating, should be known to teenagers in their early lives. When the teenager grows big and enters married life, he gets the shock of his life. He faces people full of fraud and battles against the world. There should be a class at least for half an hour per week for all students who should be trained to face fraudulent people. They should also be trained to be upon their guard against the false affirmation of others. Some of the simple forms of fraud in commerce are the giving of verbal assurances which are broken easily, making false promises never to be fulfilled are employed in business. Economy should be used in falsehood. A person should tell a lie when it brings him money. The young are in the habit of boasting of their grandeur with great people. This does not help them to acquire money. Boasting of one's wealth, family, and greatness is a common thing among students, but it brings them no money. For example, if a person boasts of a horse which is for sale, it will bring him monetary advantage. But if he praises his horsemanship, it will not be profitable. Thus, one should avoid uneconomical falsehood. He further advises that different classes should be included in the curriculum. They are blackmail, monopoly, bullying, bribery, perjury, and so forth. The author advises that the art of blackmailing is an important art and needs a lot of skill. This art requires brain and maturity. It should be taught to older and mature students. When a blackmailer goes to blackmail a person, he should be cautious of this art. Otherwise, the opponent might, to his horror, blackmail him. The tables might turn. The author further suggests that students be shown the antiques of the crabs in the tank. The example graphically mimics our public life. Each crab chases the other sideways across the tank. One tries to kill the other. The furtive, secretive movements of the crabs might be shown to the students. The same trick is followed in the parliament. Bribery is another art to be cultivated skillfully. It comes naturally to all men. One should be aware of avoiding greed on one side, too much giving on the other side. There should be a balance. The art is not to give too much and not to offer too little. Belloc supports this with an example of a person who wanted to realize his dreams. He desired for a high administrative post in the cabinet, a viceroyalty, or a first-class embassy, but he could not spend the required amount, so he got private secretaryship, twice chairman of the committee, and a baronetcy. The last one he could because he was childless. Thank you.